Hi, and welcome to my introduction video. Wanted to tell you guys a little bit about who I am, so you can see if this might be the right fit if you're looking for a life coach. So to start out, my name is Mary Beth Vandenberg. I go mostly by MB, which I am the coach and founder behind Life Coaching with MB. I established this business back in 2017. I went to university to become a clinical mental health counselor and have my master's. I was a mental health counselor for several years, and just through a turn of events with different life circumstances, um, felt called to step down from that to do full-time life coaching. I had started my business back in 2017 after I graduated, before I even found a counseling job. So I have maintained a coaching status even throughout my mental health, my clinical mental health career. So you can find on my website a few things. I'm going to be referencing the website here. I'll have a link in the video description so you can follow along. But I do specialize in mental health. Now, some people can get a little bit confused and will ask questions, well, how does life coaching, how is it different than mental health then? If you were a counselor before, aren't you just doing the same thing? Especially if I'm specializing in mental health? It's a good question. So the answer is no. I actually have, the majority of my clients have mental health counselors. While it's not a prerequisite for you to be able to sign up to work with me, to have a counselor, I often do highly recommend it. There are some instances too where I will refer people. I'll give them some step-by-step guides as to how to find therapists. I do have some relationships with counselors that I can refer people to as well. I'll never make anybody do that, but I have enough training under my belt to be able to assess people informally, to encourage that if I feel that that coaching just won't cover what their needs entail, and will strongly encourage typically working, partnering with my clients where the decisions are typically mutual as far as signing up for the counseling, and then coaching is a supplemental service. If you go to my website, you can find the welcome button. So go ahead and click on the welcome button, and you're going to find a drop down list of what is life coaching. Another one that says welcome life coach Neil. So my husband is doing coaching for men, and we do some coaching for couples as well together. You're going to find another tab that says About MB, which you can read a little bit more about me, and then Bridging the Gap, partner with us. From there, that's just for people who want to invest in the business. Often people will come to me and can't afford services. Full disclosure, I do offer reasonable rates compared to some other coaches, but had to do away with my sliding scale. I do hold a number of mentoring spots that are available annually for people, where mentoring is a little bit less formal than coaching, and is offered at a reduced cost. If you go ahead and look at the menu of my website, you can scroll down to find just a little blurb about mentoring under featured services. So you can read a little bit about that. Most of my programs are offered through either mini programs or topical coaching. So I offer a wide range of topics. It's not all just strictly mental health psychoeducation, but much of it is mental health psychoeducation, which again is never meant to replace mental health counseling. It is a type of resource that um, you know, can work through very independently in between sessions, where I coach and guide you through our sessions, and through accountability as we meet each time. The different topics that I offer, which you can see on my website there under topical coaching, are everything from career exploration, changing directions. I have a program on self-worth, identifying and defeating the lies you've believed. to stress management, season of singleness for those who are walking through being single, and boundaries training. That's just to name a few. I offer some other featured services too, like pre-engagement counseling. You heard me right. I didn't say premarital. Pre-engagement counseling. It's something that I've always felt strongly about. There's no judgment to those who haven't gone through it, but I always just found that that was kind of a missing niche amongst counseling and within the churches. That's really not offered. So, in my experience with so many of my friends and loved ones that I've watched them walk through just ugly marriages and divorces, and some just ugly marriages that never got divorced, and then coming from a broken home myself where my mom had remarried, I always just felt a strong pull toward helping couples realize early on if they're compatible. Not that that's the goal of the um, the mentoring couples through that program, you know, but it's a way for people to really, before they make that commitment of getting engaged, where someone asks someone to marry them and they say, I will, to really help them feel confident and just reevaluate, to see if their values and their goals and personality just really line up enough to feel more confident to take their relationship to another level. So that's another thing I have to offer. I also offer mini programs, which are more mental health based. Everything from a mental health mini camp for those who maybe you have loved ones in your life, or maybe you do some sort of ministry or volunteer work or work in the schools, or you have people around you that have mental health needs, but you just don't know. You can do some Google searches, you follow a couple blogs and podcasts that are informative about mental health, but you could use kind of like a how to guide as to how to help those around you without having a degree or a certification. So, that mental health mini camp really is for those people. It's a very short um, program to just help you feel a little bit more equipped when it comes to encouraging and helping others who are struggling with mental health. I also offer some other featured services that aren't talked about a whole lot, such as one time consultations. I will have these people come to me um, where they have a situation that they kind of know, some of the ins and outs and reasons why they're struggling, and maybe there's a certain challenge in their life, whether it's relational or work related or ministry related or family related, and they're able to, you know, describe to me in a concise manner what is happening, but then spend a good amount of time. These one-time consultations are just shy of 2 hours, where then there's space and room for me to ask questions and help coach them with some insight and resources that they may not have otherwise had, and then giving them some next steps. So that is available for people who just kind of want a one and done. And then I also offer, that's not talked about a whole lot, is I offer intensives. They're multi-day sessions that are available to benefit for people who maybe they just don't have the availability to do common weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly sessions through some of the programs I offer, and they really just want to come in. It's done virtually unless you're local where I am, where you can just get a lot of ground covered in a handful of days. So you are paying more upfront for that type of thing. But I have a 2-day option or a 3-day option, and it's also available for couples and families. I have very limited space for stuff like that, but the cost is very affordable, and it could be a really great way for you to set aside just a period of time to gain the benefit of what you may not have the time to do over several months. So that's just a quick overview, or about a 10-minute overview of the services I have. Go ahead and check out all the other videos I have. I give descriptions of the different programs in more detail. I offer a free consultation. I have a video about that too, what to expect. It's typically about a half an hour. You can sign up right through my contact tab on the menu, um, or actually, it'll lead you to my booking page, and you can actually set up the appointment right then and there. If you feel a little bit more comfortable emailing me and kind of just having a little bit of dialogue back and forth about the process, we can go ahead and do that as well. So I really hope to hear from you. If you really, if you feel like your life is not the quality that you had hoped it to be at this period of your life, you're not alone. We've all been there. There's no shame in reaching out for help. So, if you really do feel you need some accountability and you need some guidance, maybe you don't even really know what you need. Through the introduction sessions that everyone starts out with me, we do a little bit of exploring, the foundation of where you're at. And you may not have any direction, but that is part of my job and my training to help provide that for you. So typically through the introduction sessions, from there, it really does help us to create an outline as to where to go from there, which program would suit you well, or maybe mentoring is best, or maybe even with whoever your partner or spouse is, maybe doing some mentoring from a couple standpoint too. The opportunities really are endless. And last but not least, I have another video that I talk a little bit more specifically about my topical programs. I do offer group rates where I've come into either counseling offices and worked with a handful of clients, where I've done larger workshops. I've worked with youth for some extracurricular activities as far as coming in after school hours, as far as youth groups, and even training leaders within the church as well. So I offer that. You'll find under the topical coaching videos as well. So something for everybody. I hope to hear from you. And most importantly, I just hope to help guide you toward a better quality of life. Thanks for listening and hope to talk to you soon.